Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. Union Cabinet approves setting up of G20 Secretariat to implement overall policy decisions and arrangements for India's G20 presidency. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver inaugural address at the Energy and Resources Institute's World Sustainable Development Summit via video message tomorrow. A special CBI court in Ranchi convicts RJD chief Lalu Prasad in the final case of water scam, quantum of punishment to be announced on 21st February. Campaigning for assembly elections reaches crescendo in Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Manipur. India's overall exports in January estimated to register growth of 36.76% over the same period last year. Narcotics Control Bureau organizes Darkathon 2022 to find solutions to counter drug trafficking through Darknet. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar concludes three-day visit to the Philippines. Russia pulls back some of its troops from Ukraine's side. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz reaches Moscow to meet President Vladimir Putin. And in cricket, T20 International Series between India and West Indies to begin at Eden Gardens in Kolkata tomorrow. With the new Omicron variant of coronavirus causing concern, we appeal to our listeners to be vigilant and to get fully vaccinated and help others, including children between 15 and 18 years, to get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these three simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. The Union Cabinet today approved the setting up of a G20 Secretariat and its reporting structures. The Secretariat will be responsible for implementation of overall policy decisions and arrangements needed for steering India's forthcoming G20 presidency. India will hold the presidency of the G20 from 1st December this year to 30th November 2023, culminating with the G20 summit in India in 2023. G20 is the premier forum for international economic cooperation that plays an important role in global economic governance. As per practice, a G20 Secretariat is being established to handle work relating to knowledge, content, technical, media, security and logistical aspects of India's G20 presidency. A report.
The G20 Secretariat will be manned by officers and staff from the Ministries of External Affairs and Finance and other relevant line ministries, departments and domain knowledge experts. The Secretariat will be functional till February 2024. It will be guided by an Apex committee headed by Prime Minister. It will comprise of Finance Minister, Home Minister, External Affairs Minister and G20 Sherpa to provide overall guidance to India's G20 presidency. A coordination committee will also be set up to oversee all G20 preparations and report to the Apex Committee. The G20 Secretariat will enable long-term capacity building, including knowledge and expertise for India's leadership on global issues in multilateral fora. Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the inaugural address at the Energy and Resources Institute TERI's World Sustainable Development Summit tomorrow via video message. The summit is TERI's annual flagship event, and the theme for this year is towards a resilient planet, ensuring a sustainable and equitable future. It will discuss a wide range of issues, including climate change, sustainable production, energy transitions, global commons, and resource security. The three-day summit starting tomorrow will be attended by presidents of Dominican Republic and Guyana, heads of various intergovernmental organizations and ministers and envoys from more than a dozen countries, and delegates from over 120 countries will also participate.
A special CBI court in Ranchi today convicted Rashtriya Janata Dal chief Lalu Prasad Yadav in the final case of multi-crore water scam. This case is related to fraudulent withdrawal of more than 139 crore rupee amount from Duranda Treasury in Jharkhand. The special court acquitted 24 other accused for lack of evidence. The final judgment will be pronounced on February 21st. the court sent the RJD chief to judicial custody in Hotwar jail, but he was shifted to RIMS paying ward in the evening. Lalu Prasad will remain in the special paying ward at RIMS due to his medical condition. Special CBI Court Judge S.K. Shashi had ordered Lalu Yadav and other 99 accused to physically appear in the court. During the photo scam hearing, the advocate present in the court premises told AIR that Lalu Prasad Yadav would be sentenced on February 21st. Lalu Yadav has been convicted in 4 out of 5 cases related to multi-crore photo scam. The scam happened when Lalu Yadav was the Chief Minister of Bihar before the formation of Jharkhand. In poll-bound states of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Manipur, the high-pitched electoral campaign going on is in full swing. In UP, the electioneering gained momentum for the third of the 7th phase assembly elections. And in Punjab, the parties are all out to woo voters for the single-phase polling. In Manipur, the elections will be held in 2 phases. Star campaigners and prominent leaders of various political parties are engaged in public rallies. The campaign is now picking up in poll-bound Manipur also, with the party leaders trying to reach out and woo the voters in different parts of the state. The third phase of polling in Uttar Pradesh will be conducted on 20th of February in 59 assembly constituencies from 16 districts, including 15 ACs reserved for the scheduled caste. During the single-phase polling in Punjab, total 1,304 candidates are in fray for 117 seats after the withdrawal of candidature. During the first phase of assembly elections in Manipur, 38 seats from 6 districts will go to polls on 28th of February. In the second phase, 22 seats spread over 10 districts will go to polls on 5th of March. Meanwhile, tomorrow is the last day of withdrawal of names for the second phase in Manipur. The scrutiny was taken up yesterday and today. Our correspondent reports 96 nomination papers were received in 22 assembly constituencies of 6 electoral districts of Manipur for Phase 2 polls in Manipur. 2 nomination papers were rejected in the scrutiny and 1 candidate had withdrawn his nomination paper. The last date of scrutiny of second phase polls in Manipur was yesterday. The process of scrutiny for 21 assembly constituencies completed yesterday, but the scrutiny of Chandel ST Assembly constituency was adjourned and it was completed today only. In Chandel Assembly constituency, 4 candidates filed their nomination papers, including 2 candidates on the ticket of Naga People's Front, NPF. The voting for second phase will be held on March 5th. In view of the decline in COVID-19 cases, the Election Commission has relaxed the provisions of campaigning in the poll-bound states. The Election Commission further added that the political parties and candidates are now permitted to hold their meetings and rallies up to maximum of 50% the capacity of the designated open spaces or the limit prescribed by SDMA. It said Padyatra consisting not more than permitted numbers of persons only with prior permission of district authorities will also be allowed.
The President of Shiromani Akali Dal Sukhbir Singh Badal released the SAD-BSP manifesto for the Punjab polls at Chandigarh today. Releasing the manifesto, he said it is the party's vision for the next 5 years. In the manifesto, it is promised that the alliance will make appointment of 2 deputy chief ministers, one from Hindu community and other from scheduled castes community. The alliance promised 2,000 rupees per month to the woman head of the blue card holder family, 400 units free electricity to every household and construction of 5 lakh houses for the poor with 1 lakh per year income, besides so many other freebies. The election manifesto promises health insurance of 10 lakh rupees, 500-bedded hospital with super speciality facilities and a medical college in every district. The alliance also promised to give 33% reservation in colleges and universities to the students of government schools and provide 1 lakh government jobs and 10 lakh jobs in the private sector, apart from other promises. The Election Commission of India has requested the Governor of Punjab to issue appropriate advisory and take action as deemed necessary against Punjab State Information Commissioner Anumeet Singh Sodhi. Divulging details, Punjab Chief Electoral Officer CEO Dr. S. Karuna Raju said that 2 complaints were received against State Information Commissioner Anumeet Singh, alleging that the latter, in violation of the powers conferred upon him as the State Information Commissioner, is running an election campaign in favour of his father, Rana Gurmeet Singh Sodhi. The CEO, on the basis of reports, facts, rules and provisions of the Model Code of Conduct, Commission has found that Anumeet Singh Sodhi has violated the general provisions of RTI Act and the provisions of Model Code of Conduct issued by the Election Commission of India.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Union Cabinet approves setting up of G20 Secretariat to implement overall policy decisions and arrangements for India's G20 presidency. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver inaugural address at the Energy and Resources Institute's World Sustainable Development Summit via video message tomorrow. A special CBI court in Ranchi convicts RJD chief Lalu Prasad in the final case of water scam. Quantum of punishment to be announced on 21st of February. Campaigning for assembly elections reaches crescendo in Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Manipur. India's overall exports in January estimated to register growth of 36.76% over same period last year. Narcotics Control Bureau organizes Darkathon 2022 to find solutions to counter drug trafficking through Darknet. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar concludes 3-day visit to the Philippines. Russia pulls back some of its troops from Ukraine side. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz reaches Moscow to meet President Vladimir Putin. And in cricket, T20 International Series between India and West Indies to begin at Eden Gardens in Kolkata tomorrow. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
Welcome back to the evening news. India's overall exports in January this year are estimated to be $61.41 billion, exhibiting a positive growth of 36.76% over the same period last year and a positive growth of 38.9% over January 2020. Overall imports in January this year are estimated to be $67.76 billion, exhibiting a slower rate of growth of 30.54% over the same period last year. India's overall exports in April to January 2021-22 are estimated to be $545.71 billion. This is a positive growth of 37.68% over the same period last year. The Narcotics Control Bureau NCB is organizing in New Delhi today the Darkathon 2022 to find solutions to counter drug trafficking through Darknet across the globe. The initiative aims at involving students, youth and technical experts to find effective solutions to unravel the anonymity of Darknet markets. Speaking after inaugurating the Darkathon, Director General NCB S.N. Pradhan said this hackathon is a continuation of the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who recognized the financial challenges being posed by drug trafficking during a comprehensive review of the NCB.
डार्काथॉन इसलिए किया गया कि आपने अभी हाल में देखा कि एक डार्कनेट बेस्ड ड्रग रैकेट का भंडाफोड़ हुआ जिसमें 22 लोग गिरफ्तार हुए, काफी मात्रा में ड्रग्स बरामद हुआ। डार्कनेट जो है ये रास्ता बन गया है, एक तरह से सोर्स बन गया है नई तरह की तस्करी का, जिसमें क्रिप्टो करेंसी का इस्तेमाल होता है, पोस्टल कुरियर का इस्तेमाल होता है और डार्कनेट का इस्तेमाल होता है।
Our correspondent reports that this hackathon is being organized in 3 phases starting today and concluding on the 22nd of April. The registration for the Darkathon starts from today and will close on the 31st of next month. Sansad TV YouTube channel and live streaming of Sansad TV on YouTube has been restored. YouTube channel of Sansad TV got compromised today due to unauthorized activities by some scamsters. The name of the channel has been changed to Ethereum by the attackers. Joint Secretary Puneet Kumar of Sansad TV, Parliament of India said Sansad TV's social media team promptly worked on it and got the channel restored by early morning. He said Indian Computer Emergency Response Team has reported the incident and alerted Sansad TV. He further said YouTube has started fixing the security threats permanently later on. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar concluded his 3-day visit to the Philippines today.
This was his first visit to the country as External Affairs Minister. During the visit, Dr. Shankar held a bilateral meeting with his counterpart, Teodoro L. Locsin Jr. The two ministers reviewed developments in bilateral relations. The ministers agreed to work further towards strengthening engagement in counterterrorism and defense and maritime security. Dr. Shankar also saw the attention of the Philippine government to facilitate early return of Indian medical students to the Philippines. He also interacted with a cross-section of the Indian community in Manila.
External Affairs Ministry today said issues in India are considered and resolved in accordance with constitutional framework and mechanisms, as well as democratic ethos and polity. In response to media queries regarding recent statement by General Secretariat of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Narendra said the communal mindset of the OIC Secretariat does not allow for a proper appreciation of these realities. Mr. Bagchi termed it as yet another motivated and misleading statement from the General Secretariat of the OIC on matters pertaining to India. India's COVID vaccination coverage has reached nearly 174 crore today. Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said more than 37 lakh vaccine doses have been administered till 7 p.m. today. More than 1.79 crore precaution doses have been administered so far to the eligible beneficiaries. In the age group of 15 to 18 years, more than 5 crore 26 lakh vaccine doses have been administered as first dose and 1 crore 75 lakh as second dose.
President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted people on the eve of birth anniversary of Guru Ravidas. The President said in his message, Guru Ravidas was a great saint, poet and social reformer who tried to eradicate social evils and bring about harmony in society through his devotional songs. He added that his teachings of peace and fraternity are even more relevant today. He asked people to pledge to follow the path shown by Guru Ravidas and contribute in building a society based on equality and harmony. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Guru Ravidas Vishram Dham temple in Karol Bagh, Delhi tomorrow on the occasion of Ravidas Jayanti. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he will pray for the welfare of the people there. He said the way Guru Ravidas dedicated his life to eliminate evil practices like caste and untouchability from the society is inspiring for everyone. Mr. Modi also said that the construction work in the memory of Guru Ravidas in Kashi is progressing with full grandeur. Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijar has declared a holiday in the capital tomorrow on the occasion of Guru Ravidas Jayanti. Russia has said that it is pulling back some of its troops from the Ukraine side after a build-up that prompted fears of an invasion. The Russian Defense Ministry in a statement said that large-scale drills continued, but that some units were returning to their bases. Meanwhile, the statement did not say how many troops are leaving, and it is not clear if it will de-escalate tensions. On the other hand, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz arrived in Moscow today to meet President Vladimir Putin amid the tension between Russia and Ukraine. NATO's chief welcomed signals that Russia may be looking for a diplomatic solution amid a military build-up on Ukraine's border and urged Moscow to demonstrate its will to act.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day. In today's episode, we remember Assamese freedom fighter Nabin Chandra Bordoloi, who was born on the 15th of February 1875 in the Kamrup district of Assam. He was a prominent leader from Assam in the non-cooperation movement during 1920 to 1922. He strongly propagated the use of khadi and the principle of non-violence through his activism and lifestyle. Bordoloi joined the Assam Association and went to England in 1919 with the sole aim of arguing for the inclusion of Assam in the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. The visit was a success and Assam was included in the new administrative scheme. In 1920, he joined the Indian National Congress during the Nagpur session. Bordoloi took the initiative of furthering the activities of the Congress in Assam. For his involvement and activism during this time and later again in the 1930s, Bordoloi was imprisoned and underwent harsh treatment by the British. Bordoloi held various important positions in the Indian National Congress. He was the General Secretary of the Reception Committee of the Pandu session of Congress in 1926. Besides his role as a political activist, Bordoloi was also a notable writer and translator. In most of his works, patriotism is the important underlying theme. His dedication, perseverance and hard work earned him the popular title Karmavir. We salute the great freedom fighter.
We remember freedom fighter Jahanur Ali, a well-known freedom fighter of the Surma Valley, Assam. Jahanur, along with some 300 people, gathered at Kanai Ghat in Sylhet on the 15th of February 1922 to discuss the future course of political action. The meeting was convened after permission from the local police. However, the British authorities suddenly intervened in the meeting and ordered the people to disperse within 7 minutes. Without listening to the innocent people, the British police started firing, and in that firing, Jahanur Ali died on the spot. We salute the great freedom fighter.
We also remember Satyagrahi Siddeshwar Rajhans, who was martyred on the 15th of February 1932. Rajhans belonged to Munger district of Bihar and actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. The Congress Committee of Munger had declared 15th of February 1932 as the Jhanda Satyagraha Divas. Rajhans joined the crowd which had assembled around the Tarapur police station with the object of hoisting the flag over it. The police first warned the crowd to disperse and then opened indiscriminate fire on it. Rajhans was critically injured in the firing and died on the spot. We salute the great martyr.
We also remember Gandhian and renowned artist Kalapati Ganapati Subramanian, who was born on the 15th of February 1924 in Kuttuparamba in Kerala. He was actively involved in the freedom struggle and was known for his Gandhian ideology. He was imprisoned and later banned from joining government colleges during British rule. Post-independence, Subramanian got involved in many streams of art, including pottery and sculpture, murals and toys, and writing children's books. We salute the great Indian.
We also remember two residents of Delhi who took part in the First War of Indian Independence. These include Amir Ali and Sheikh Murad Khan. They were executed by hanging on the 15th of February 1858. We salute the great martyrs.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404, issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago. Union Culture and Tourism Minister G. Kishan Reddy has emphasized the need for preserving, propagating and perpetuating the rich culture of the country. He said its heritage and museums will play a key role in achieving the same. Referring to the Vikas and Virasat mantra, the minister said the government is ensuring that the poorest of the poor gets benefits of development and efforts are on to protect heritage for Virasat. Mr. Reddy was speaking after formally inaugurating the two-day global summit on reimagining museums in India. He said the museums need to be reinvented in such a way in which they are accessible to citizens and relevant in the new digital age. The Culture Minister said the government is also developing 10 tribal freedom fighter museums to recognize their contribution in India's freedom struggle. The summit is being held by the Ministry of Culture as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. Over 3,000 participants from countries including Australia, France, Italy, Singapore, UAE, UK and the US are taking part in the summit.
Lookout circulars have been issued against the accused in the case of over 22,000 crore rupees loan fraud by ABG Shipyard Limited. CBI in a statement today said, the account of ABG Shipyard turned non-performing assets in 2013 as per State Bank of India. As per bank complaint, the NPA is to tune of 22,842 crore rupees and the majority of the disbursement took place between 2005 and 2012 by a consortium of 28 banks led by ICICI Bank and including SBI. India will take on West Indies in the first match of the three-match T20 International Series in Kolkata's Eden Gardens tomorrow. The BCCI has elevated Rishabh Pant to the vice-captaincy for the series. Rohit Sharma, who successfully led India against West Indies in the ODI series, will be the skipper for the T20 International Series 2, whereas Kiran Pollard will be captaining the Caribbean team and look to change their fortunes in the T20 series. Earlier, KL Rahul was named as a deputy to India's new white ball captain Rohit Sharma, but he has been ruled out of the entire series after he sustained an upper left hamstring strain during fielding in the second ODI against West Indies on February of 9. India whitewash ODI series against West Indies 3-0. They have not lost a bilateral series against West Indies since 2006.
In news just in, Russian President Vladimir Putin today said the country does not want war after Western nations accused Moscow of deploying troops in large numbers near Ukraine with plans to invade. A news agency quoted Putin as saying that Russia does not want a war. That is exactly why we put forward proposals for a process of negotiations. He said it in a press briefing following talks with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Moscow. Scholz said he agreed with Russia's assessment that there was still a chance to avert war over Ukraine through diplomatic negotiations. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi is likely to have shallow fog. The temperature will vary between 9 and 27 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be 17 degrees. Maximum expected to be around 28 degrees. Chennai is likely to have fog or mist in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. The temperature will vary between 22 and 31 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be 16 degrees and a maximum of around 28 degrees. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 4 and 15 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Minimum temperature will be 7 degrees. Maximum will be around 19 degrees. Visakhapatnam will have a partly cloudy sky with haze. Minimum temperature will be 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 30 degrees. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Union Cabinet approves setting up of G20 Secretariat to implement overall policy decisions and arrangements for India's G20 presidency. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver inaugural address at the Energy and Resources Institute's World Sustainable Development Summit via video message tomorrow. A special CBI court in Ranchi convicts RJD Chief Lalu Prasad in the final case of water scam, quantum of punishment to be announced on 21st February. Campaigning for assembly elections reaches crescendo in Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Manipur. India's overall exports in January estimated to register growth of 36.76% over the same period last year. Narcotics Control Bureau organizes Darkathon 2022 to find solutions to counter drug trafficking through Darknet. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar concludes 3-day visit to the Philippines. Russia pulls back some of its troops from Ukraine side. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz reaches Moscow to meet President Vladimir Putin. And in cricket, T20 international series between India and West Indies to begin at Eden Gardens in Kolkata tomorrow. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.